We're live! I can't hear you, Joel.
Uh-oh. We lost him. Chat to him, quick. I can hear you, Josh.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Hey.
I moved the mic. There we go. Hey,
Hey-o.
guys, I moved the mic in it, decided to turn off on me. We are live. Heslop Tech Talk. Jokers are doing ridiculous stuff, so I had it on me because they were making faces. But welcome to Heslop Tech Talk. This is Joel back with you, owner-operator of this channel. You're welcome. But thank you for stopping in. Josh, you want to introduce yourself?
Josh Heslop, owner and operator of Joshua14 Gaming and Tech Reviews, youtube.com/Joshua14 and Joshua.net.
Jeremy?
Yes, Jeremy Heslop, owner and operator and El Presidente of OmniTech Pro. We help businesses get their technology where it needs to be to grow, succeed, and be competitive.
Yeah, great. So this week on Tech Talk, man, we were kind of perusing the interwebs, and we didn't find a ton of huge things that happened this week, but we still wanted to bring you quality tech content here. And
Speak for yourself. All my stuff's amazing.
All your stuff is amazing. I'm not saying that it's not good. I'm just saying that, not as big as,
CES.
big CES stuff that's coming
Please
out.
don't leave the stream. Don't leave the stream now. Stay. It's amazing.
No, it's going to be great. It's awesome. But one of the first things I wanted to start out with is, gosh golly gee, do the Galaxy S8 renders look good. I'm going to show you some screen sharing here because I'm pretty pumped about them. But the Galaxy S8 is really looking like this bezel-less craziness. So you can see here that it's looking fresh. They're 3D renders, so they're not like completely accurate, but they've been showing some case rendering here. In the actual case, you can see, and the bezels are like non-existent, just a little chin on the bottom, a little chin on the top, and the back is completely done. It still looks like a glass make. But they've moved around some things, made it a little sleeker, and I'm really loving this. MKBHD posted one of these pictures that you can just see where the bezels on the side are like nothing, and on the tops are nothing. So this is beautiful. And first thing he said was, "Please let a Pixel look like this and have Pixel software on it." But I'm thinking, man, if this is what it's actually going to look like, this would be a huge winner. I still see a headphone jack on the bottom of there. Bottom left, so
Winning.
But who knows what they end up doing with the design? But these leaks and renders, can only tell us so much. But if that's what it's going to look like, that's a huge move forward. That's abandoning their usual with their bottom button. But I couldn't be happy with that. I mean, I see a button on the side, so maybe that has a fingerprint sensor on the side. I'm not sure. What are you guys feeling with that? Do you think the direction that they're going to go?
The reports have said that the fingerprint is actually just going to be embedded into the screen.
Really?
Yeah. So
that's pretty genius. Yeah, because I mean, that's the button on the S7 is taking up a big space. Same thing with. That's why some of the bezels are pretty big on the iPhones, is because you have to have a big button at the bottom for the home button. But if you can, I'm a big fan of on-screen buttons and not having a big bezel. I mean, with the V20, there's just a really small chin at the bottom and then a larger one at the top for this extra screen there, but there's not an actual big bezel at the top, though. So you get a lot of screen real estate, screen to bezel ratio. But I'm for this. I really hope it's pushing it forward. The new G6 from LG looks awesome as well. There's some really good renders out there. It just looks like a smaller V20 with a little bit more polished design. And I think that could be super well. LG needs a winner here. Their the HTC Ultra looks interesting. So a lot of good phones being pushed out that'll be early this spring or coming out soon that are going to really push the market as far as phones go here. So I'm looking forward to that. It's something that I always love is mobile tech. But Josh, what do you got for us with a Surface phone, huh?
So they had some. Let me screen share this real quick. Application window. Basically, Microsoft has been awarded a patent for a foldable mobile device that could point to something beyond a prototype. So could this be the Surface phone? We don't know. I mean, like, it folds out to be a tablet. So
yeah, those LG and Samsung that we talked about last week, maybe they're stealing some of their tech.
Well, you never know. I mean,
well, if they patent it, then everybody else is stealing their tech. So.
Exactly.
Right. Exactly.
It's gonna have to pay them. So, but no, I'm stoked for it. If that it's a hybrid, that'd be really cool.
Yeah. Can you get some Surface phone gaming videos? Can you run Doom on it?
So what OS is this going to run? Because didn't they just announce Windows Phone dying?
Well, they said that they have successfully run Windows on ARM processors. So they're probably going to be doing that and doing Snapdragon. I think they're going to be using, if they do announce a Surface phone, it's going to be the Snapdragon 835
Which
and
is
be able to run
really strong.
Full on Windows on the on that, and then they'll probably be able to emulate some of the Windows Phone apps if they don't have them already ported over. But I'm sure that they're going to port everything over. So
yeah, well, their tablets, the RTs, were running on ARM. So they already have that tech there. It's just making it work on the phone. Their first attempt with the Windows Phone stuff was kind of middle of the road.
Yeah, but those Surface RTs, they wouldn't run x86 programs, and
that's true.
They'll actually
does both. Okay.
It does both. So it's really exciting. So hopefully
the future's bright with that for sure.
It's got decent enough specs to run most programs and do some light gaming. It would be really awesome.
Yeah, as long as I can run Microsoft Word, I'm just golden. So happy. Microsoft Word is the future, guys. It's the future.
What about the fold-out design, though? I mean, we saw it before. What advantages do you think that would have to just carrying around a phone?
Well, then you don't need a tablet to bring with you. You can just basically keep your phone, and when you got it half mode, you just throw it in your pocket, and then when you pull it out, hey, I want to watch a YouTube video. I'm not going to watch it on half. I'm going to fold it out and
sure.
So we'll see. We'll see the implementation and execution. That's going to be the real thing, is how long does this thing last? But in my experience with Microsoft Complete, as far as the guys I've known from the Surface Reddit and Surface Gaming that have had to turn in their devices to get a new device if you buy the Microsoft Complete, you just basically bring it in, they'll give you another one for free. So, I mean, it costs a couple $100 for 2 years, but $100 a year for that kind of protection is pretty good, because the iFixit, scores on Surface products are pretty low as far as fixability. So you don't want to do it yourself. So
yeah, because they pack in a lot really tight in there and have a lot of glue and melded stuff together instead of so many screws and actual things that can be modular a little bit. They're like, let's just squash everything in there really tight, which makes for a super complete, really good looking product. But like you said, I'm not going to try to go in there and fix things around, because I'll just end up ripping something apart and ruining it.
Yeah, a guy said he replaced his screen. He was really handy with replacing his Surface Pro 4 screen because it cracked, and it took him a long time. He was like, yeah, it wasn't really worth it. So,
Wow.
But I mean, he ended up doing it and it works. So I'll have to find the link if I can before the end of the show.
Like duct tape on the corners to keep it in.
No, he used the whole glue, the special glue that you're supposed to use and everything. He did all the research. So
okay, good. Yeah, it can be done. I mean, iPads, those screens can be replaced. Other Lenovo screens and stuff for the really small ones, touch screens and things. It definitely is not something that the average Joe wants to do, though.
No.
Takes a lot of patience, especially if it's cracked screen. I mean, I have scars to prove that I've done a couple iPad screens already.
Yeah, that's an industry on itself, is working and clearing out, fixing screens and stuff.
They're going to bring back the TV repairman, right? You know, I mean, that's the CPR.
Yeah.
Like those mobile repair places.
Yeah, and they do pretty well, like at malls and strip malls, stuff like that. I mean, almost daily I have someone on Facebook or posting, where's a cheap place to get my screen fixed or get this fixed or whatever. You know, that's a needed and good thing, I guess, but because normal people aren't going to take that on themselves unless they're really into it and able to take some time to do it. And some people, it's not worth it to them to begin with, but well, cool. Jeremy, what kind of things you got happening with Apple alumni over there? What's happening?
Yeah, so I just saw this today. There's a smart lock company from a bunch of guys that came out of Apple series, and it's kind of interesting. Let me show this.
Pull that up.
Pull it up. The key, I guess, differentiator with this particular one is there is a video camera. So if somebody unlocks the door, then you'll be able to see who comes in.
Yeah.
I guess they said they're going to, where's the screen sharing thing? Yeah, I guess they said they're going to make it more of a apartment building or hotel type thing. So people come in and out of the building or your place, it'll be there. But you can, use your phone to open it or use your swipe to open it, and Bluetooth, have a deadbolt and a normal lock. But you can let somebody else in, type of thing. Like they can ring the doorbell, kind of thing. You see who's in, but it's all encompassing in a one unit.
Yeah, so it's kind of like, I see equipped doorbells like Ring. Yeah, the Ring game became really popular for a while with, that video camera on your door that you can see if someone's there, and you can talk to them that way and like see if someone brought your package or whatever. So
some lady just caught her neighbors trying to break into her house with Ring. Yeah, man. And so then she recognized him and she talked through her doorbell and was like, "Tracy, is that you?" And they ran off.
Oh man, that's the way to do it.
Oh yeah,
that is rough. Yeah, they someone had a Ring or something like that set up on their house, and their front porch. They had a light set up for the holidays, like a snowman and a couple things like that. And they looked at the footage and they saw like their two-door neighbors down stealing their Frosty the Snowman and reindeer set up over like in their yard, that are like, you see them like sneaking away, unplugging it and like running away with the snowman and stuff like that. And they're like, it was so-and-so. Like they found out, and so they're able to catch the people that were stealing their Christmas lights. Frosty's not safe anymore. It's crazy out here in these parts.
So, I mean, that tech's been around for a while, but this is just a new take on it. It has all the options that you could want built into one thing. And,
yeah,
that's pretty neat.
And a premium price tag, I'm sure.
It said $399. So it said,
right. I mean, that's pretty much middle of the road for most of the smart lock stuff. That has a screen and Bluetooth and everything else. So
yeah. Like Ring, I think, is like $200, but that's just a doorbell and a camera. That's a little different.
Right.
Well, cool. Well, okay. So just this week, we had the official unveiling of the Nintendo Switch with details on price, on battery life, on some of the peripherals. So I'm pretty excited about a few of those things. Just something that I saw that was pretty neat was the UI of the Nintendo Switch. So you can see here, it's pretty colorful. It one of the things that was kind of clunky on the Wii U on the tablet was the user interface. And so this looks like it has a dark mode and a light mode. This was actually from a deleted tweet. They didn't really talk about this much in the live stream, but it looks really good. It looks colorful, it looks bright, and it looks smooth, because the Wii U ones was a little clunky and it was a little held back by that. So I think this will be a really good win for Nintendo if their UI is just smooth and looks good. Some other big standouts for the Nintendo Switch was its USB-C. So that'll be great when you are doing things like that. Oh, yeah, here's Jeremy's posting here. Breath of the Wild. Here's the map.
Skyrim is pretty big.
Skyrim's huge.
You can walk from one side to the other in like a couple days or something like that.
It takes forever. And if you look, there's Ocarina of Time, which is a pretty big. It was one of the most expansive Zelda games that ever came out. And then Twilight Princess was a big world. Wind Waker was huge, but it was a big grid system, so it was easier to do. Yeah. But dang, Breath of the Wild is huge, which is awesome. So that's really, when they talked about this idea of it being a open world to really do, we were wondering, we're like, how open is that? Is that going to be Skyrim level? Is that going to be, and from these renders and from these things, it's going to be huge. It's going to be awesome. So I'm really looking forward to really expanding out and getting into some of this. But yeah, some of those highlights from the system itself, where it was USB-C, they said anywhere from 3 to 6 hours on the battery life when you have it handheld. And they said, if you're playing Breath of the Wild, playing something that's more intensive, it's going to be like a 3-hour time frame. But if you're playing some of the more simple titles, you might you'll get 6 or more. So it kind of just depends on what you're doing and where you're going. But the big thing is Nintendo's never really been about the specs, so it's really not going to be that quick or fast, and the frame rate's not going to be that great. But they're all about gameplay and usability. So if they can get a winner with the battery life, with the gameplay, and some of the other things, it's going to be huge. Kind of a bummer we were talking about is there's only going to be about 4 to 6 titles when we start in a launch in March 3rd. So I don't know. What do you guys think about the lackluster release dates for some of the titles here?
That's pretty much Nintendo standard pro quo. I mean, they come out with their top lines and then they let everybody else start to develop after they've released the console, which it has its pros and cons. At least when on launch day, you're getting good games. You're not getting some kind of...
You can milk a cow.
Yeah, well, Animal Crossing or whatever, you have these other games that are good too, but so there's pros and cons to it for sure.
If they're smart, they're going to get the virtual console up fast and just start pumping out some of the old content, so that, or if they're really smart, they're going to be like, hey, whatever virtual console stuff you bought on the Wii U is going to be transferable. So I don't know how they work. Did they work that out with the Wii and the Wii U? Like
No, people were ticked because they bought a bunch of virtual console stuff on the Wii that was like NES games, 64 games, whatever. And then they're like, you know what? You're going to buy those again on the Wii U. What? And so that was a huge bummer. And people were, pretty ticked off that they buy all this stuff and then Nintendo doesn't really let you take it over. So that I'm hoping that you're exactly right, that you can get all the stuff that you had before on your account, bring it to this, and then get Wii U games, get GameCube, Wii U, Wii games real fast, and they start pumping out. Because that's part of the big pull from Nintendo is their nostalgia and excitement of being able to play some of those games. And obviously having Mario and having Zelda and have those big titles are going to be a huge winner. But I'm looking forward to it. I already have mine pre-ordered. So you guys will get to see some footage of gameplay and unboxing as soon as I can for you guys. But March 3rd, coming around the corner.
We want to see that crispy 900p Zelda footage. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, 900p. That's what people are like, really? That's on handheld, I guess. But
no, that's all it can do.
The full resolution on, yeah.
You dock it, you put it on your TV, it's 900p. I think and it drops down to 720p on the tablet.
Yeah, so. Well, that's what it shows for sure. But yeah, so see, that's what the thing. Like Nintendo's never been about having a higher quality system or faster system. They've always been about what's the gameplay? What does it look like? You know, are you the usability of the system itself? Are you having a great experience? Then that's what matters. So I can get behind that. I know people are going to be pixel pushing and be upset about it, but I'm not worried about that at all.
It's Nintendo. Like
For
people
sure.
people go there for the games. It is what it is. So
Yeah.
And if you, I don't know if you watched the Casey Neistat goes to the Nintendo Switch launch in New York.
Yeah. Yeah.
Obviously he knows nothing about gaming, but his whole feel was that they didn't talk about specs or what graphics or anything. You know, they were just about how fun it is to play. And I think that's why Nintendo stood out over the years, in that they don't try to pixel push or say how great their 15 quad power PC processor is doing. You know, they're just making good games and decent systems. So,
and you know, when I was younger and playing games, I wasn't like, oh gosh, man, I wish this was a higher resolution. I was like, wow, this dungeon's awesome. Wow, this boss is great. Wow, I really love this. So that's what I really remember. But speaking of new systems and pushing pixels to the edge, Josh, what do you got us from Asus?
Oh man, so Dave Lee over on YouTube, his moniker is Dave2D, came out with a review of the Asus Transformer 3 Pro, and he's actually using it with the Razer Core and a GTX 1080, which is like overkill
to play Overwatch.
But it's possible.
It's very, very possible. And the Transformer 3 Pro has that Thunderbolt 3 port to interface with the Razer Core. And he said basically you're only bottlenecked by the Thunderbolt 3 bottleneck, like the transmission speeds of how fast that can go. So he said like you're going to be losing about 20% performance of the 1080. So, you know, it's like you don't really need to push all those pixels with the 1080. You could get a 1060 or a 1050 and be happy with it. So that's very, very good news. Hopefully, fingers crossed. So if you wanted to go out and buy a Transformer 3 Pro, it's $1,600, and then the Razer Core is only $500.
Ooh, $2,100, looking good.
I know, right? So
and then you got to buy a card.
But if you look at the Razer Core, let me look at I was searching for Razer Core on here. They don't sell it on Amazon, but you can get
a version of it, a different PCI version.
So it's just a PC Switch.
Yeah, exactly.
You take it out and you have the Transformer, and then you bring it back and you dock it, and now you got like, you know, it on your big screen.
Exactly. Exactly.
Well, that's what's cool. Is Dave was saying that this is like, if he didn't video edit and he didn't do all the stuff he needs for his channel, he said this could be his daily driver, because he loved how the tablet felt. It is a full tablet, full Windows, just like a Surface Pro 4, but instead of Surface Pro 4, it has that Thunderbolt 3. So he can use his monitor, he can use that core with it to really put some gaming and actually do a solid job. So he was playing Doom and playing Overwatch, and it was doing great and running well. And he was like, man, if I didn't do Adobe Premiere and all these video edits, I could use this as my daily driver. But that's not, with a tablet there, he's not going to be able to edit all his 4K. And now we switched over to RED cameras, which are even crazy with the processing. So that was the first video he did with his new RED camera, by the way. But
nice.
But yeah, so that's where you're like, man, this is great. And so he was super excited, and I am too, with that idea of the mobile processing in the future. That's why I like the Surface Phone and other things, is we're pushing those limits, and that's like the first one with that Thunderbolt 3 on it. And that usability of the new USB-C with Thunderbolt is awesome. So I hope they keep pushing that, keep making these more universal units that are really gonna be the future of the I/O. So that's great.
Nice. So I mean, it's really all comes down to the Transformer Pro as well as the Surface Pro 4 kind of line of tablets only have a dual core, you know, the mobile processor. So you are going to be hampered a little bit by what that that processor, if you got a CPU intensive task,
Right.
what's going to be there. But yeah, for most tasks with some gaming added on is.
Yeah, you're not going to be rendering 8K red footage on your dual core tablet anytime soon.
It's not going to happen. Or it could just take like 8 days for one 15-minute video.
It's like a lot of the software is using the CUDA cores and the GPU processing. So, you know, if you're putting a 1080 on the transformer, you're there. And Josh, is the new Surface Pro coming out with Thunderbolt? Do you know?
I just reached out to my contact at Microsoft, and I was just saying, hey, like, I just saw that video. Are they thinking about that? And he was just like, that's awesome. And that's all I got. So hopefully the R&D guys are moving towards the future with that, because that's, you know, that's where we're headed with awesome transfer rates and power. You know, you can run everything, power, audio, and video, everything through there. So
yeah, and I think the competition there will definitely push things forward and get them excited and make them want to do better with that. And that's necessary, is that market share push and other people really pushing things forward to get them moving. So I'm sure they have that on the radar. If that's not going to be in it, I'm thinking that they're definitely going to want to push that on there, or think about what they could do to make it better. But there's no reason for them not to, other than I really don't know why they wouldn't, but it'd be great if they did. All right, Jeremy, what do you got for us next here?
Sure. So I saw an interesting headline that I read about searching Google offline. I was like, what?
How to? I what?
And so I read the article, and it's talking about you can search Google and it'll store it for you. And then it'll allow you to basically pull up the search results later. So in case you're in Wi-Fi waiting mode or in a bad spot. And then, you know, at those times you're like, how big is the earth? Or, you know, do pigs actually fly? You can, you know, type those things into Google and pull them up once you get back into Wi-Fi range. So I thought that was kind of interesting that they're adding some extra.
Yeah, that's legit. It's like the offline mode for, you know, Google Maps, but with their search. So if there's certain types of informations or certain, you know, topics that you might want to impress your friends with.
And apparently they do that with the Google Play Store too. So if you're getting app downloads, you can queue them up, and then when you get back in Wi-Fi range, it'll drop them in there. So.
Oh, that's nice. Yeah,
some cool Android features that are coming out.
Yeah, no, that's good. I think that anytime they can optimize how you interact with your data and things like that, it's going to be better. Everything Tech, someone just popped in and said, what do you think about the LG G6? I hope they knock it out of the park. I think that they learned a lot from the G5, and they're dropping modularity, which is a great thing in my opinion. I think they need to drop the modularity or make it hot swappable, that you can just pop it in and out like Moto did with their Z Force and stuff like that. But the G6, if it has a better camera than the V20 or similar, all the renders show 2 cameras. If it's a sleek design, if it's USB-C like it's going to be, if they have some good speakers on there, I think it'll be a great winner. It's going to have to go against the S8, and it's going to have to go against the iPhone 8 whenever that comes out. So they're going to have to step their game up. But if they make a similar phone to the V20, just a little smaller and sleeker and faster, they're going to have a big winner. So I'll be looking at the G6. Maybe LG will. If you're listening, send me them now, please. I'll take 7.
If they don't use that song "Feeling So Fly Like a G6" on their marketing, I'm not even going to look at it. I'm not. It's over.
Fun fact: Evan Ev Leaks, EV Leaks, the guy. He's a big Twitter guy. He said what LG needs to do to get back in the game is have them perform at their event launch. He's like, that will propel them to greatness and make everybody forget the G5. He's like, everybody's just going to be singing like a G6, and they'll think it's the best phone that has ever come out. So you're on the right track, Josh. He already
great
said.
Minds think alike. Awesome.
For sure. Josh, what is this? I see that Razer prototypes might be found. Is this real life?
It's real life. So, okay, let me find it here.
Somebody just put it in a van and we're like, oh, whoops.
I know.
We found it.
All right, this is from WCCFtech.com.
Oh, my favorite.
So these are the Razer Valorie prototypes, laptops. These aren't the Razer Valorie laptops you were looking for unless you have $22,000 lying around. They very much are. So
No way.
it showed up on mainland China, where they're now on sale on TAOBAO. So I guess that's Taobao for 150,000 won, or roughly 21,700 USD. So, yeah. So hopefully the company should be able to track down their laptops now from there, or at the very least buy them back.
Well, didn't they say they were going to do like
close to the reward, right?
Yeah, wasn't that close to how much the reward was?
25. Yeah. So
they got a deal, $4,000 cheaper.
Right.
Snap. Calling China.
They're like, we has your laptops. Call us now.
Exactly.
Give us the monies, unmarked bills.
Right.
That's awesome. Someone said, I picked up the LG V20 last week because I watched some of my videos. Thanks for watching. Wanted something similar to the Note 7, even though it's no longer with us. Yeah, rest in peace, Note 7. You were great. What's the next big thing? Is Razer going to see people who stole it or lawsuit against them? They probably will. I mean, if they can figure out who did it, there's probably going to be a lawsuit.
Their CEO was pissed. I mean, he's like, I'm going to, this is espionage. This is,
That was a money grab. I mean, there's no way there was espionage. It was just somebody trying to resell it,
Their CEO is very, if you've seen his tweets or his Facebook messages, he's very edgy and over the top. He posts things all the time. Like, he'll post open jabs at Apple. He'll post like open jabs at other companies. He's very controversial to get some waves. So, I mean, he's very uppity and moving forward. So, he's probably trying to get some attention, which is fine, but I wish him all the best. Yeah, exactly. They want more people checking out their site and buying Razer cores, apparently, and using them on laptops. But no, that either way, I hope they get it back, and that would be a good thing for them for sure. But all right, guys, you got any more Tech Talks thoughts that you had for the group here?
I think we're good to go, man. This is
we're rolling, cooking with gas.
If you don't have all the tech news you need right here on the stream, it's not needed for anything else in your life.
So yeah, it's all here. Everything you need to know doesn't exist. Well, cool. We got some cool stuff coming out. I'm actually going to be filming and videoing some stuff today to get out on the channel. I have lots more ideas in my video book that I need to get done. It's been a little crazy lately here, but looking forward to get back in schedule. Josh has got some cool more Surface gaming stuff. There's actually two links below for you guys that are premium links. Josh was, we talked about it last week, but now it's live. Josh was featured on the Microsoft's blog, their Windows blog.
Internet famous.
He's internet famous. Actually, Josh, do you have that link up that you want to show real quick, just so you can show your pretty face?
Of course.
Hey, Jeremy, if you want to get your link ready. So Josh had that Surface link. He'll talk about it in just a second here. And then Jeremy has 4 tech tips for the new year, things to help you get on track for your tech life. So Josh, you ready with yours? You can talk about that for a second here.
Yes. So basically, I worked with the Michael Huntley, the product marketing manager for the Surface, and they featured me in their blog, Why Gaming Benchmarker Josh Heslop Loves Surface. So got to show off some of my videos on my YouTube and my tech channel here. So
Wow, I noticed a couple of those thumbnails looked really great. Like,
of
someone named
course,
Joel did them.
Hey, it's nothing but tech talk love here. So
That's awesome. Hey,
but
is that Lou from Unbox Therapy?
hey, look, that hoodie game is on point. Yes.
Yeah.
Oh man, so good.
Kevin, what's
All right.
up? Hey, you're welcome. You're welcome for the tech news. Cool. Yeah. So that's Josh's. He's got some sweet things. I linked that down below so you can check out that blog. It's a lot about his channel and kind of his thoughts on Surface and all the links to his stuff down there. And Jeremy, he just released some sweet stuff on his blog and a video as well. You want to tell him about that, Jeremy?
Yeah, sure. Just some quick tips for businesses to start out their year great. Just little things like checking your backups and cleaning up your inbox and your passwords and things. So just some things. And if you have any questions about your business or technology, post them over on the YouTube channel, youtube.com/OmniTechPro, and we'll try to answer those in videos in the future.
So was there any lip balm action in this video?
I don't think any came out. There were some bloopers, but there wasn't enough to make a full video. So
nice. Yeah. No, unfortunately. Yeah, but those tech tips are solid ones, and they'll be great for any business or just individuals in general that are trying to get some tech under control for the future, get more organized. There's some great tips, so go check them out. Links for both their channels are down below, and the articles and blog stuff below. But do we have streams every weekend, or what's the schedule? Yeah, actually, this Tech Talk video stream is going to be every Thursday around 3:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So I normally try to post the video early so that you can see when it's going to be, but normally every Thursday about this time for about 40 minutes or so. So yeah, thank you guys for stopping in. It's been fun. Thank you, Josh and Jeremy. You're beautiful. You've got great genes. But thank you guys for watching, and we will see you in next week's episode. Farewell.
Peace out.
Peace out. Keep it clean.